Okay, I did a video before on adapting a 24-inch bar for this new M18 chainsaw, and there was a lot of questions that came out of that, so I was looking to answer some of those questions in this video. So I'm going to try a few different configurations. First off, just to see what cuts the best. So we are going to run, we're going to wind up running 5 different setups. I'm going to run a 325 chain, and then I'm going to shave the rakers down, and I'm going to run that same 325 chain again. I'm going to run a 325 skip tooth chain with the raker shaved down, and that's going to be on this bar here, which is set up for 325. And then this is a 3/8 bar, and I'm going to run that using a regular full comp 3/8 chain, and then I'm going to run that using skip tooth 3/8 chain. And I have a couple of different drivers. So we had talked about drivers. This is the one that comes with the Milwaukee, and then this is an aftermarket one. I think it's 4544-0001 or 16. I'll put it in the description. But the aftermarket one's slightly different than the one that comes with it. And this one that comes with it, if you look at it, this thing seems to roll 325 a lot smoother. So if you look at that thing, it rolls pretty nicely. And this aftermarket one doesn't roll 325 very nicely at all. In fact, I'm not even going to try the 325 on it because it doesn't appear that it fits very well on it. But that being said, this aftermarket one, we'll look at the 3/8 chain on the original, and as you run it, you can see this binds in here a little bit. And we did this before, and the drivers get beat up right there. So this aftermarket one seems to run the 3/8, try to get my hand out of there, a lot smoother. And there is a slight bind in there, but it's much less. And so we're gonna try this aftermarket. We're gonna run that with our 3/8 chain, and we're gonna run this original driver sprocket that came with it with the 325 when we do these tests. And like I said, I'll include that part number. If I get interference with this, I may wind up shaving it slightly and trying it again to see how it goes. But it definitely rolls this 3/8 a lot better than this one, the original. And for some reason, it doesn't seem to like to roll the 325, where this is very comfortable with it. So I don't know if that's intentional when I pulled the part numbers, but that's how it's working out. So that's how we're going to test it. And hopefully you can get some idea of the times and what's going to work best with this saw running a bigger bar. And maybe let me know if this is interesting tests. Maybe we can try the same setup in a 20-inch configuration also. And I'm definitely looking to move to 28 when I get more parts in. I'll do one more. All right, now we'll shave the rakers on that, see if that chain will cut more aggressively. Then we'll go to a 3/8. All right, so I shaved the rakers down on this Oregon LGX 325 chain. I'm hoping even if it's not a quicker cutting time, that the chain's doing more of the work and I don't have to lean on it as hard to get the same amount of cutting done. So let's give it a shot. It's definitely cutting more aggressively. I'll give it one more. It's getting bound up easier, but it's definitely cutting much more aggressively. All right, we're gonna give this one more try with a 3/8 chain. I have an aftermarket sprocket that seems a little bit friendlier to the 3/8 and less friendly to the 325. It's not giving me that clicky sound, so let's see if that'll do it and if it doesn't beat up the chain. All right. Now I got an Oregon EXJ, so it's a skip tooth, and we're going to run this one, and we're also going to see if this thing is getting beat up or not, like the other chains were. I'm back to having to push pretty hard on it, but it feels like it's cutting pretty good, and it's not stalling. I don't know if that's because it's just doesn't have as many cutters in it or what, but it feels better cutting it. All right, so the 325 was really getting hung up pretty hard because it was taking a lot bigger bites than it had been previously. So with the 3/8, the skip tooth worked a lot better. So this is a 325 chain. Let's give this 325 with the raker shaved down a shot. Doesn't feel like it pulls as good as the 3/8 does. All right, without even looking at the times, I can say out of all these that I've tried, the 3/8 skip tooth is definitely the preferential way to cut, at least with this wood. All right, so we tried 4 different chains here with some different configurations. I didn't do, in this one, this is the skip tooth 325. I didn't do that without the rakers shaved because I've already done it. But this was probably the second best to use. The 3/8 with the skip tooth was the best one to use, and that goes on this aftermarket driver without beating up the teeth. So that was good to learn also. I definitely got the best time with that 3/8 skip tooth. The 325 was cutting a lot with the raker shaved down, but I think it was just stuffing too much wood in there and it was getting bound up. And this one got bound up a little bit. Maybe if I shaved the rakers less, it would be a good balance. I mean, that's all just learning and playing around. These rakers on both the full comp and the skip tooth for the 325, I took 10 strokes off of each raker. So maybe 5 strokes would be better. I don't know. That's you know, it's all a learning process. But this OEM drives the 325, and this aftermarket drives the 3/8 without beating the teeth up. So I'm pretty happy learning that, and I'll do some more playing around. I got a 28-inch bar that I'm waiting to come in, and when that does, we'll try that on some bigger wood, and we'll see how that goes. The only advantage I'll say on this 325 is that I do believe it uses less battery. This thing is cutting a thinner kerf than the 3/8. It's pulling hard, but the 3/8, it's just, that thing's cutting a lot of wood, pulling on the saw big the whole time. And I think it's going to go through batteries faster. I didn't quantify that, but I do believe there'll be a, you know, pretty significant difference, probably guessing, but not knowing, probably like 30 to 50% faster battery use on that 3/8 chain. And I think we'll have to go skip tooth for sure on the 28, but we'll see if same thing. Maybe I'll only shave 5 strokes first and see how that goes on the 325. But more to come. Hope this information is useful for you. I'm learning about it. It's going to be useful to me using this. Thanks for watching, and look forward to some more videos.